So let's talk about vasomotor symptoms, which again are hot flashes, night sweats, feeling of heat intolerance, flushing, and heart palpitations. So physiology is not well understood, which is interesting. We think about up to 80% of women experiencing these symptoms. It's a huge number of people. It's shocking that we don't have more research on sort of what triggers it. There's this sense, there's a theory. And the theory is that we have a thermoneutral zone, which is established in the hypothalamus in our brain. And this is what the brain, which is kind of the control system of the body, is deciding is an acceptable temperature range for our body to be in. And we know that the body has to be within a certain temperature range for our enzymes and our proteins to work properly. And so, during most of our life, we have this thermoneutral zone. This is where the body is at homeostasis. If we go higher than that, we feel sweaty and hot. If we go lower than that, we start to feel chilly and we might shiver. And so the thought is that as women start to go through menopause or the perimenopause transition, somehow this thermoneutral zone narrows. And now, even though the body is at the same temperature fluctuation, now suddenly we're sweating more often and we're shivering also more often. So the body is less resilient to changes in temperature. But why this happens isn't really well understood. Trifolium, red clover flower, also has some isoflavones. And of course, we have a lot of uses for trifolium, and it does taste delicious. So really nice in a tea. And I have pulled a couple studies here. One looked at a red clover extract, where they standardized the amount of isoflavones in the extract, and they added a probiotic, which I thought was really interesting because we do know that our microbiome can have a big role in metabolizing hormones. It's now called the estrobolome. And so here they combined the isoflavones and a probiotic and found that it was more effective than a placebo in addressing hot flashes after 3 months. So pretty safe intervention, pretty effective. The second study looked at red clover and found it was more effective than placebo in decreasing hot flashes. So also okay by itself. And then additionally, that third study I pulled in women that were using red clover, not only did it, impact, the menopausal symptoms that they were aiming to address, but it also supported a decrease in total cholesterol and triglycerides and an increase in HDL, which is our good cholesterol. So stepping back from specific treatments more into a whole person approach, these transition in hormones, as we've talked about, can be stressful. The symptoms that happen can be stressful. The instability is very stressful. And so as we start to look to put a formula together, even if somebody is on hormones, I think it's absolutely crucial to consider our nervine herbs. Right? Hormones don't act as nerve tonics. That's something special we get from herbs. So motherwort again, milky oat seed, skullcap, and chamomile are some of my favorites.